In the Pacific Ocean lies the Mariana Trench. Its nickname is the Challenger Deep, as it's known as the deepest point known to Earth. However, if you push just a little bit past this point, you will stumble upon Manchester United, as they have found a way to surpass this and reach one of its deepest points in club history. But this is nothing new. United have been setting unwanted records for the club for the past few years, and the managers, who always seem like the ones who are held accountable and hounded by the press, have been coming and going like Pete Davidson's girlfriends. So, let's take a look at all United managers, except the interim managers, that have been in charge since Sir Alex Ferguson and review what their time as a United manager was like, and as a bonus, we'll rank them in a United managers tier list.
I'm empty Moyes, I'll smash you up, I'm empty Moyes.
I mean, to be honest, there's no wonder Moyes failed. Imagine being handpicked by Ferguson to lead a team that had been relentlessly dominating English football for the past decade, and the last manager was so good, he was knighted for his efforts. Anyways, Moyes didn't even last a full season, which made him the shortest serving United manager in over 80 years, and so in the short time only signed one player doing his stint. The final straw was crashing out in the Champions League and not qualifying for the Champions League next season due to the poor performance in the Premier League. So the Glazers sacked Moyes and appointed the loyal, trustworthy Ryan Giggs to manage United until the end of the season. So at the time, if I were ranking this tier list, I would definitely put him in the D bracket. But considering the pressure he faced as a United manager, handling an aging squad and not given resources or time to build his team with his own vision, I put Moyes in the B bracket. After his time at United, Moyes went on to manage a few more teams, his most famous stint with West Ham, where he became quite successful and even won the Conference League with them. Since January though, he has reunited with his beloved Everton.
Ben ik niet begonnen te zeggen dat wij met spelers afspraken hebben.
Even though Van Gaal's football was seen as boring, he did not fail to entertain on the sidelines. When Van Gaal came in, the money came out and made some massive signings in the transfer market and signed superstars like Ángel Di María, who would definitely go on to become a club legend and spend over 100 million euros in the transfer market. And in the first season it worked. Van Gaal did alright with United, mainly because he played static defensive football, but in the end he was just inconsistent. But still, even though United fans were frustrated, they finished 4th in the league, meaning they qualified for the Champions League and Van Gaal's job was safe too. But not United's money, because this summer transfer window he dashed out over 156 million euros for more United fan favourites such as Anthony Martial, Memphis Depay, and some other players that definitely weren't transfers that would pay off. This became visible in the league, Van Gaal's tactics taking a toll on the scoreline, which ended up with United coming 5th and losing out on another Champions League qualification, while in the Champions League itself, they didn't even pass the group stages. In the FA Cup, however, United went all the way to Wembley, and even though they went 1-0 down, Lingard's goal in extra time won United's first silverware since Fergie's departure. So, one more year left with the Dutchman at the wheel, right? Nope, just a few days later, Van Gaal was sacked by United and the replacement was already on his way to take his place. So you know what, just for the fact that he won a trophy with United, I'm going to put Van Gaal in the B bracket. Even though he made some horrible signings, he kept United in the running of the league but failed in the international competitions.
I am José Mourinho.
If I brought up Van Gaal's transfers, I have to mention the special ones too. He made 11 transfers amounting to a total of 466 million euros. If they were effective is debatable, I'll let the comments decide on that, but they definitely didn't do much in the league. United came 6th in the Prem, which would have been ridiculed had he not won the Europa League and the League Cup with United in his first season. So he was excused for this moment of brilliance and was looking to make up for it next season. Which he did. He came 2nd in the league with the most amount of points since the Fergie era, but it's not like they were close behind City or anything. But now they were struggling internationally, losing to Sevilla in the Champions League last 16 and losing the FA Cup final to Chelsea, the club where Mourinho became the special one. Now in the 18-19 season though, United were not only struggling on the pitch but also off of it, with Mourinho publicly criticising the team and falling out famously with Paul Pogba and also Luke Shaw. By December though, the board had had enough and Mourinho's time at United was over. Now looking at the statistics, Mourinho's win percentage is actually the highest since Fergie left, actually not even far off of Fergie's stats himself. So even though he had a falling out with the United squad and it got a little bit sour at the end, Mourinho brought football heritage back to United and gave United the feeling of success again. For that, I'm going to place him in bracket A. Ole initially took over from Mourinho as a caretaker manager, but earned the full-time position by showing promise with the team and leading them back to the United way, which is intense attacking football apparently. One of Ole's biggest attributes though is his nose, as he was able to sniff out many talents and even advised United to sign Haaland when his release clause was at 20 million euros. But Ole's best signing till this day is definitely Bruno Fernandes, who is not only captain but is United's leading figure. He also made some controversial signings though, such as Jadon Sancho, who flopped fully, and of course made the return for the United icon possible, Cristiano Ronaldo. Anyways, back to his first 6 months, where United came 6th in the Prem, which is alright. But when he had 2 full seasons, United came 3rd during that Liverpool domination season and came 2nd when City was dominating the Prem. On top of that, Ole went on a 29-game unbeaten away run and reached multiple cup semi-finals and took a massive blow against Villarreal in the Europa League final, where they lost due to David de Gea being the only guy who missed a penalty. And then in the beginning of the 21-22 season, it started to crumble. United's defence was falling apart and were battered 5-0 at Old Trafford by Liverpool, and from there on it just got worse and he started to lose control and authority over the players. So with United being 7th in the Prem by the end of November, United sacked their own Champions League winning legend and had Michael Carrick and Ralf Rangnick take over as interim managers until the end of the season, where United finished 6th. So honestly, I'm obviously not saying Ole was better than Fergie, but United reached nearly every semi-final or every final and was always in the top 3 of the Prem. So I'm going to put him in S. I believe he's the only manager who also deserves this place since Fergie's departure. In his first season, Ten Hag made a positive impact at United and led them to a 3rd place finish in the Premier League, securing a return to the UEFA Champions League, as well as ending a 6-year trophy drought by winning the League Cup back in 2023. But as we all know, it all came tumbling down. United became inconsistent, did horrible on the international stage, and Ronaldo and Sancho were just some of the biggest signings in Premier League history, had personal conflicts with the Dutchman. United ended up coming 8th in the league, the worst finished in their Premier League history. But Ten Hag wasn't sacked just yet anyways, as he led United to FA Cup glory, meaning United was still able to compete in the Europa League this season. But it didn't get any better. At the start of the season, United won 3 of their first 9 league games and was just racking up the unwanted records non-stop. And due to their worst ever league start to a season, a Dutch United legend took over as interim manager, while the other Dutch guy was forced to leave Carrington and Old Trafford behind. Now maybe it's just because this happened recently and it's fresh on everyone's mind, but I think Ten Hag could maybe scrape a C due to his FA Cup win, but I'm going to shut that maybe down real quick and put him in D, because man, he just crumbled and did not utilise United as he could have.
He hates Man City, he's MUFC, Rúben Amorim.
Well, he's supposedly the second chosen one, but before he even managed the game for United, the fan base was hyped of what he had said in his interviews. Unfortunately for them though, he hasn't been able to convince everyone of that, but more importantly, United at this moment in time are 14th in the Premier League, with 33 points from 27 games. He could obviously thank Ten Hag for most of this, but it will be interesting to see if he can turn it around in time and what he will be able to do with United when he's given a full season. But Moyes wasn't given much time either, so I'm going to put him next to Moyes and Van Gaal for the moment and might update it by the end of the season, if he's still here that is. Alright, thank you very much for sticking around and watching the video. I'd be interesting to know what you think about the managers of United and their form, and let me know if I should do a similar video on another club. So subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, like the video if you enjoyed it, and share the video with a United fan to rile him up. See you next time, bye!